This is week 9, independent activity, problem solving with percentage. Question 1. Joyce paid $149.50 for an item at the store that was 35% off the original price. What was the original price? Okay. So if it was 35% off, that means that she paid 65% of it. So I set up a proportion here. So she paid 65% of it because it was 35% off, and then 65 corresponded to 149.50. So I set up a proportion here, and I cross multiplied and divided, and end up with $230 for my answer. What is 1% of 4,000? 1% of 4,000, you can multiply there. You can see that it's 40. What is 10% of 4,000, which is 10% of it would be 400. Okay, so if 1% is 40, then 2% would be 80. Okay, and if 10% is 400, and then 40% would be times 4, 1,600. Okay. What is 23% of 400? You multiply it out there. 0.23 times 4,000, $920. So or you can say 10% here is 400, so 20% would be 20% of it. 10% is 400. Okay. And that means that it would be 800, and then 3% of this, 3 times 40 is 120. So you end up with 920 there. That was number 2. Number 3. 68 is what percent of what number? So I set up a proportion here. 40 over 100. Okay. 60 is 40%. So that's my part, and find the whole. The part that comes after of is the whole. And I cross multiply and divide. I end up with 170. Number 4. Now, in this case here, identify as increase or decrease. Okay. Then find the percent. Increase or decrease, if necessary, round. So in this case here, we see the original, we see the new. Original is 190. The new is gone down to 170. So it's in this case here, it looks like we have a decrease. So you have old value minus new value divided by the old value here. And divided by that should be an end there. Let's see if we can fix that. So we have old value minus new value divided by the new value. Gives me 190 minus 170 divided by 170. Gives me 11%. And that's my answer, is decreasing. Okay, number 5. Find the new price. Alright, original price Original price is $66.92. The discount rate is 19%. So they want us to find the new price. So taking off a 19%, meaning that they paid 81% of it. Okay. They paid 81% of it. So set up a proportion here, 81 over 100. I want to find the part when the whole is 66.92. So I cross multiply and divide it and end up with $54.21. That is the new price. Okay, find the amount of tax and the tax rate. The cost of the item is given to it is 87 and the selling price is 94. So the amount of tax is going to be the selling price minus the cost of the item, which is $94.44 minus 87. The difference is $7.44, and that is the tax amount there. Okay. Tax rate is tax amount over the cost of the item, which is 8.55%. And that's the answer there. Number 7. Find the simple interest. I is equal to PRT. And it's given to us here. We put the R is equal to 0.045 and you plug in. The amount of interest is $306, and that was number 7. Find the amount of simple interest. So I wrote out my formula here. P is equal to 3,800, R is 4%, as a decimal is 0.04, and T is 6 months, so I have a part of a year, so it'll be a fraction, 6 out of 12 of a year. Then I plug into the formula and I multiply here. And that was $76. Okay. Number 9. All property tax in Wyoming is based on the assessed value of the property being used. For county revenue, the tax rate cannot exceed 0.09% of the assessed value. Suppose that the assessed value of a hotel is $73,000 and the tax rate is 0.9%, but it's a property tax. The amount of tax is going to be the tax rate times the amount value of the property. So in this case here, the tax rate is 0.09 as a decimal. This will be 0.009. Okay. And the value is $73,000. So I end up with $657 for my answer. Okay, this is number 10. The U.S. Weather Bureau has a station in Mauna Loa, Hawaii that measures carbon dioxide levels 59. At that time, there were 326 parts per million. In 2005, was 393. Find the increase in carbon dioxide levels and percent increase to 2 decimal places. All right, so my percent increase formula is a new value minus the old value divided by the old value. Okay. So I have 393 minus 326 over 226. It gives me 67 over 326. And that's a percent. There's the decimal form there. And that's a percent. That's going to be 20.55% there. Okay. There's your percent increase. And the amount of increase is going to be the difference between the two. 393 minus 326, which is 67. And there it is there. And there it is there. Number 11, a salesperson receives a 19.8% commission on their sales. If the total sales for the month is $1,900, what is the amount of the commission? The amount of the commission is going to be the commission rate times the amount of sales. In this case, as a decimal, 19.8 is going to be 0.198 times 1,900, which gives me $376.20, and that's our answer there. Number 12. A department store holds a year-end clearance sale that includes a 10.1% discount on cosmetics. Find the sale price of a bottle of perfume if the original price was. Find the sale price. Okay? If the original price was $67.33. So they got a 10.1% of a discount. That means they paid 89.9% of it. Okay. Let's set up a proportion here. Find out how much she paid for it. 89.9 to 100. The original value here is 60. Original price is 67.33. Excuse me. And then cross multiply and divide it. And my answer is 60.53. And that's the sales price. You want to increase the quantity by 8%, which is the following does that. So if I multiply by 100, I'll get the 100% of it, I'll get the value back. So I want to add, increase it by 8%, so I add 8% there. Okay, so I have 108%. Then that's a decimal. That's going to be 1.08. So my formula is going to be 1.08 Q for my answer. And that's number 13. Number 14. During this year, the budget increased by 3%. The increased budget here is $16,068. What was the budget before the increase? All right. So 100 plus 3 is 103% and 103% here. So 103% represented by $16,068. So set up a proportion here. Okay, I get my part being 103 and that amount there. 1668 over 100. And I can find out the old value by cross multiplying and dividing. And that happened to be $15,600, my final answer.